said what time it was?
Hold on to my arm. Hold on to my shirt.
Hello everyone, Nabeel Qureshi with Act 17 Apologetics, David Wood, and our friends Paul and Nagin here. All four of us have just gotten out early this morning from the Dearborn City Jail. We were there because of something that happened yesterday at the Arab Festival here in Dearborn.
Now, you'll remember what happened last year at the Arab Festival. We recorded a conversation that Muslims gave us permission to record. We asked a question at a booth that invited us to ask questions, and we were repeatedly assaulted for it, not just Nabeel and I, but also Mary Jo Sharp, who was not saying anything to anyone. She was just standing there holding a camera, and she was assaulted repeatedly by the Muslims in Dearborn. And this made us want to take extra precautions this year so that we don't end up with a woman being assaulted.
And so what we did to make sure that we took extra precautions was to not hand out any pamphlets whatsoever, which we didn't do last year either. We also didn't yell into a crowd or anything. In fact, we made sure that the only people we talked to were people who first approached us. And this was to limit accusations of instigation and disruption. We knew people have a tendency to accuse us of being disruptive, of inciting and instigating, so we wanted to make sure we did absolutely nothing of the sort.
And what we found repeatedly in Dearborn is that any random person can walk up to a police officer or to a security guard and say, those Christians are bothering us, or those Christians are doing something, and police will not hesitate, or security will not hesitate, to come over, stop us, remove us from the festival, or in this case, lock us up, put us in jail. And so in this situation, we were falsely accused, and we had the footage. We said to the police officers, we have the video footage right here on our cameras of exactly what happened. Will you sit down and watch it with us? They refused, and instead they put us in cells.
So here's what actually happened. While we were at the festival, we didn't approach anyone. Just like I said, we waited until people approached us, and they did approach us. They remembered us from the video from last year, and they would come up to us accusing us, threatening us, saying we were racist, saying that they were going to hurt us, and yelling curses and insults at us. But they actually did engage in civilized conversation with us, though. Even though they were saying these things, we talked to them. And within a matter of minutes, multiple times, we were talking very amicably, talking with a solid understanding of who the other person was and enjoying the conversation. This happened multiple times. We made many friends yesterday at the festival. The last time this was happening, people had approached us. They had accused us yet again. They were threatening us, cursing us. The conversation lasted for about 10 minutes. But we were ending it amicably when all of a sudden police came and put us in handcuffs. Paul and David were there recording. Paul, would you tell us exactly what you saw?
Yeah, I was standing there with Nabeel. I had the camera in my hand. Nabeel was talking to a group of about 20 or so young Muslim adults. 5 or 6 of them were asking questions, and they were going back and forth, question, answer, normal civilized discussion when 3 or 4 cops came into the middle of the group, pulled Nabeel out, I thought for security reasons, and then started to put handcuffs on him. I was standing there just recording everything, not saying anything, not handing out pamphlets. Next thing I know, the camera was being forcibly removed from my hand, and I was put in cuffs as well and taken away.
And Nagin was also recording. She was much further away than anyone else. Nagin, can you tell us what happened to you?
Right, Nabeel. I was in the background holding a camera. I was about more than 100 feet away from them, just holding a camera, making sure that if anything happened, that I would have other footage of it. When all of a sudden I had police surround me and try to take my camera, and so then I was surprised that they were there because I had done nothing wrong. I wasn't even near the vicinity of Nabeel and David, and they come up to me, they tell me to stop recording, and so then I tried to get loud because I'm trying to get Nabeel and David's attention, and so they use that against me and charge me with an extra charge. And so now they haul me off to the trailer, put handcuffs on me, and haul me off to jail. I'm 18 years old, I've had no record, and now I'm being hauled off to jail for holding a camera at this Dearborn festival.
And that's pretty alarming. David, you were there too. What happened to you?
Well, I was recording the conversation. The Muslims seemed to want to have a conversation with you, and so I just stood there recording. On the one hand, it was absolutely shocking to have the Muslims there, I mean the police there, come up and put handcuffs on me. On the other hand, it's not shocking at all. Once we understood what happened last year, once we understand what Sharia law calls for, and people were confused last year when we called this Sharia in the U.S. What are you talking about? People aren't forced to wear veils. Well, that's not what we meant. We were pointing out the simple fact that there are certain elements of Sharia law that are being enforced in Dearborn. Under Sharia law, if you're a Christian, you are a second-class citizen. You cannot go out and proclaim the gospel to Muslims. You cannot go out and disagree with Islamic law or criticize Muhammad. You can't do any of that. And that's exactly what we find being enforced in Dearborn. So on the one hand, it was kind of jarring when the police grabbed me and put handcuffs on me, forced my camera down. But on the other hand, we were kind of expecting something like that to happen.
And, a lot of people have accused us online of lying, of being deceptive, of being rude and ridiculing Muslims, of being racist. The truth is, none of that actually happened. And that's why we have the cameras with us. We have the cameras to record what was actually going on. And when you see this footage, you will see that we were proclaiming love to Muslims. We were proclaiming the love of Jesus Christ. I was wearing a shirt that says, Jesus always loves you. And that was the message we were proclaiming. And we were waiting for people to approach us. Yet already online, we're seeing people, it hasn't even been 12 hours since we've been released from jail. And already online, people are accusing us of having disrupted people at this festival, of having incited a problem, of having caused disruption. You will see, when the footage comes out, our story will remain exactly the same. We will not change our story because it is the truth. And all the evidence that's there, all the footage that's there will fit our story to a T. Other people will have to change their stories. Other people will not fit the evidence with what they're saying because their stories are wrong. I want everyone to take note of that and see exactly what happens when this story unfolds. For now, this is Nabeel Qureshi, David Wood, Paul, and Nagin with Act 17 Apologetics.